Hello out there again in radio and YouTube land. This is Ham Radio Man Oz. This is episode number 16. We got some really exciting stuff coming up over the next 3-4 episodes, so make sure you stay tuned to those. I'm going to try and do a whole lot of videos in one hit today, break them up into the various episodes and get them out to you as quick as I can. So in today's episode, episode 16, what I'm going to be talking about is the Mars mod for the Yaesu FT-450D. Now, I did perform this mod. I followed a video and I'll show some shorts of that in this video of what I did, following a couple of instructional videos I found on YouTube to do it. Now, I did do it and it works fine. The radio works fine and everything like that. But bear in mind, please, if you do attempt this mod, make sure you have some skill at removing small, and I'm talking very small, like 1 millimeter diode SMDs from the board. Now, I found it very tricky. I was hesitant to do it after seeing the video. I thought, oh well, they look like they're pretty big, but of course not realizing how well zoomed in. You do need to have a magnifying glass of some type that you can reference while you're removing it. Now, I didn't have one of those headset ones that you can get these headset ones with the glasses magnify. That's probably a good one to have. All I had was my little magnifier from my helping hands and a little portable magnifier that I've used. But once you find where it is and safely remove the diode, make sure that there's no jump across the solder joint, that the solder's gone from that joint, the radio mod works fine. So basically it just involves removing one jumper diode from the board and you'll be able to transmit on the whole full spectrum of the band. Now, why did I do that? Because I'm an amateur radio operator, and part of it is experimenting with radio. Now, it's not that I really want to transmit on 27 megs, really CB radio very much anymore, but occasionally there is some really interesting skip that comes in on 27 megs. The primary reason that I actually did it was on my old 757GX behind me. It actually already had the ability. It transmits 0 to 30 megs with no problem at all. It was like that when I bought it, and it has the full general receive. Now, I did it with the 450 simply just to see that it would work still, because my radio varies slightly from some configuration internally to the actual one you see in the video, but it did work. So I just wanted to make sure, one, that it would work, and two, it's nice to have a backup anyway. Now, you can do this modification on the IC 7300 and other radios as well. It's not a hard thing to do, but you do need to be very careful, and I stress that, be very careful when you're soldering with a hot soldering iron or anything around these circuit boards. They are so small, these parts. This diode, when I removed it, was about 1 millimeter, you know, and it was just slightly bigger than a pinhead. So it was very difficult, first of all, to spot without the magnifying glass, and you could track it, but then you got to get your soldering iron in there to try and remove it and heat it up and put a bit of solder and slide it off, and without damaging any other components, overheating the board or anything else, because then you could do damage to your radio. So I'll just show you some brief information through this video from another video that I've seen, and it's a very simple and easy to do, but I stress you do this at your own risk, and I'm not responsible if you damage your radio, okay? And I'll show you also mine working as we go. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is actually remove all the screws on the radio around the cover to remove the covers and expose the front panel tabs. This is very simple and very easy to do. With the covers off, you can see where the tabs are. There's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and you simply lift those up very carefully so you don't break them. Just pry them up gently and you'll be able to swing that front cover around to your left. Or around to the right, I should say, of the radio. There's the cover now swung out of the way, and don't just pull it off. Swing it around, because there is a ribbon cable. Now, you remove 6 screws from that metal plate there, and that will pull off just like that. The ribbon cable, if it's in your way, you can disconnect it from the head unit, There isn't always a need to do that. I actually did disconnect it. It made it easier for me to work on. Then you locate the jumpers. Now there are 3 main jumper diodes that we're dealing with, and it's only the top one, that one there. So only the top one is what we want to deal with, that one there. Not these others, just that one there. So once you remove that jumper out of there and make sure there's no solder across the connection, you can then reassemble the radio. Now be very careful in removing them because they are extremely small. Once the radio is assembled, hold in the APO, noise blanker, and AGC. When power on the radio, we'll put it in developer mode. Once it's in developer mode, using the select knob, just rotate until you find where it says type. Now it may say A type, which is amateur type. It may say H. Mine said H. What we need to do is we simply need to change that to T. Press the function button and press your noise blanker button, and it will change it to the T type, which is transmit. Now once that's selected, just make sure that it stays there. Rotate the selection knob just back and forth to make sure it stays on T type, and once that does, all you need to do is hold in the function button until the radio reboots and resets, and this will then unlock the radio for full transmit. So as you can see, guys, here's the radio back on the shelf, fully assembled. I'm on 27355 megahertz at the moment on the lower side, and we just go testing 1 2 3 4, testing 1 2 3 4, testing 1 2 3 4, audio, testing 1 2 3 4. And as you can see, I'm transmitting there on 35 on the lower side of the radio. Not a problem at all. There you go. Hope you found that informative. Well, there you go. So it's easy to sort of look at doing these modifications. Just be very careful. Please make sure that you have a good look at it. If you do attempt to do it on your radio, I bear no responsibility for you doing it to your radio. Just have a good look, locate the diode, and then make sure you're working with a very hot soldering iron, and be very quick and easy about it, and re-inspect with the magnifying glass to make sure that there's no contact, no solder going across those 2 points, and follow the rest of the procedure and your radio should work. Alright, thanks a lot for watching again. This is Ham Radio Man Oz. This has been episode 16. Big thumbs up please if you like the video. Rate, comment, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Leave me a comment and we'll catch you on the next episode. 73s.